I'm Robert Estrin. You're watching livingpianos.com, bringing you videos for years. And I want to thank all you loyal subscribers for joining me, because today we've got 5 things that make piano playing so hard. It is hard. Let's face reality. It takes a long time to develop security and where it really becomes a part of you and you connect with the instrument. And there are things you can do to bring that. You can check out the description to the Living Piano Mastermind Club if you want to take your playing to the next level. But what I'm going to talk about today are why the piano is so hard in the first place. Well, what is it about the piano that makes it so hard? Well, one thing that's really obvious is that piano music is much more complex than other instruments. You're using both hands playing independent parts. In fact, you can have independent parts within each hand. And oftentimes the parts can go from hand to hand, inner parts. Hands can cross, all kinds of things. You know, I'm not saying that clarinet or saxophone or flute or trumpet are easy. Of course they're not, because there's other things involved with embouchure and tone production, breathing. But you play those instruments, you learn where your fingers go, and they stay there. You can play the instrument for 20 years. Your fingers are going to still be over the same keys. Wouldn't that be refreshing? Now, no such luck on the piano. Every new piece has new positions for your fingers, new hand positions and finger patterns. So it's very complicated music. You're playing so many parts at the same time. That's the obvious thing. Well, what else is there? Well, one of the things is you're reading the music, and yet you want to look at your hands. How do you look at 2 places at once? Well, memorization is one answer. Well, memorization, unless you have the method to memorize, which I've taught for years, you are going to have a tough time with it. And sometimes you need to read the music. When you're playing chamber music, you're accompanying, you're familiarizing yourself with other music. You're not going to memorize it. So how can you possibly develop that connection to be able to look at 2 places at once? You put one eye up there, one eye down there. Well, that doesn't work, does it? Well, there are ways that you gain the familiarity with the keyboard and you feel your way using your ears in connection with the feel and sound. It takes a while to develop that, but once you get it, your reading will get into another level. So what else is there? Well, you know, here's one fundamental thing about the piano. The way your hands are built is really backwards from what you want. What you really want is this. So you have your strong fingers for your melody and your bass. Those are the parts you want to bring out, but no, you've got your powerful thumbs right in the middle, and 90% of the time you want your strong notes to be the top notes and the bottom notes. You want to hear the melody and the bass. No matter what it is you're playing, it's almost always that way, isn't it? Whether, you know, with the Pathétique Sonata second movement, top and the bottom you want to hear. If I were to play that just the way my hands, the natural weight of the fingers, it would sound like this. So you have to overcome the natural problem with the way the hands are built for piano playing, having the fact that your strong fingers are in the middle, where the vast majority of the time it's the treble and the bass you want to hear. Is that are those the only problems? No. How about the fact that the melody is most often on top, and of course those notes fade away quickly. You play the bottom notes and they last a reasonably long amount of time. Listen to that. Play high notes, it's gone almost instantly, even on a nice Steinway like this. So how can you possibly make those high notes last long enough? Well, you have to exaggerate the power that you give, the weight of the arm in the high notes, to be able to get a fluid line, so where you can actually hear the melody above the bass. To complicate matters, the melodies usually has slower notes than the accompaniment. So whether it's a Chopin prelude, if I were to play that with equal force in the two hands, the higher notes are going to fade out and the repeated eighth notes are going to drown out that melody. This is without making a compensation for the tone of the piano, the natural envelope of the sound. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm playing with equal force on all the notes. So you have to really stretch the difference between melody and accompaniment in order to bring out the melody, like more Chopin, like the B-flat minor nocturne. Once again, I'm going to play now with equal force in both hands. These melody notes are going to fade out, and all these running eighth notes in the left hand are going to drown out the melody. I can't even do it. It sounds so horrendous. So once again, exaggerating the tremendous weight and support of the melody notes so that these notes that are fading away can sustain through over the repeated eighth notes in the left hand. So that is another huge difficulty of the piano in a nutshell. Finally, what's the fifth thing? What could this possibly be? We have covered all these different aspects. One of the things that's different about piano from other instruments, if you play guitar, you play trumpet, you play flute, you play violin, you want to play somewhere? You want to go to somebody's house and jam, or you have a concert to play? Whatever it is, you grab your axe and you go. Boom. Piano, no such luck. You show up, and it's a piano maybe you've never played before, and you have to instantly adjust to any instrument you sit down at. You know, there are many times that I play concerts, and the first time I play that piano is the day I'm playing that concert. I may have a whole program with different nuances of touch, different speed, volume, the pedals are different, and you have to completely accommodate that instrument instantly at that moment. What a challenge. Other instrumentalists do not have to face this. It's a unique problem to pianists. Organists have this issue. There are very few instruments that you can't take with you. So once again, what are these 5 fundamental things that make piano so hard? Well, of course, the complexity of the music, playing with both hands, multiple parts. The fact that you got your music up here, the keyboard down here, how do you look at 2 places at once? Also, the way the hands are designed, you've got these strong fingers in the middle where you want it to be delicate, those inner voices. You want to bring out the melody and the bass with these weak 4th and 5th fingers. The high notes fading out so quickly. When you want them to last long, they're usually slower than the rippling bass notes. And there's more of those bass notes anyway. And finally, having to adjust to different pianos instantly whenever you want to play somewhere other than your own home. If you've got other things that you think are also equal to these in what makes the piano so hard, leave them in the comments here at livingpianos.com, your online piano resource. And once again, check out the description if you want to take your piano playing to the next level. Again, I'm Robert Estrin. You're watching livingpianos.com. We'll see you next time.